So we've seen that like a layout with this website in terms of boxes. We said div, you remember the division. Let me just go here to the positioning HTML. Okay, so we put here a div and we give it a name, so to target it for styling, and then we put another div here. So div is something that doesn't have any meaning, like a division. So yeah, it's just a container. So that's why the W3C is like a worldwide consortium. Yeah, they do the standards of HTML. So this is HTML 4.1. Like HTML, the first version came in 1997. I'm not sure the other one, but the latest one is HTML5. So the HTML5 came with some other tags we're gonna see now. Let's see here. We're gonna just get rid of everything here. From body, I'm just gonna get rid of everything.
Delete everything?
You can create a new document. Yeah, you want to create a new document.
Okay.
Yeah.
New site with a new document.
A new document within your site.
Okay.
So we're gonna clean up all this mess. So like HTML5, it came with like a lot of new stuff, but today we're gonna see just some of the semantic elements that it came with. Instead of using divs all over, so we're gonna be using some semantic elements, semantic tags, and then we're gonna build a website, the entire one. Okay, using the HTML5 tags. Okay, so as we saw before, we used to use like a div, a division, to create a box with an h1 tag and right, and then a paragraph. Yeah, okay, some text here. Yeah, I mean, just like, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm just explaining this. Like before, like the coming of HTML5, they use divisions, div, to create these containers and boxes. So now we're gonna see some new elements. They are tags, HTML tags, but semantically they make sense. For instance, the first one is like header. Okay, the first one is header. Okay. What does it, header has a meaning. A header is the head, which is the top. At the top of a page or at the top of an article. It just depends. It can be at the top of the page. And then the second element is the nav. Nav stands for navigation. So your navigation goes into the container. These are containers. Okay? Like instead of doing div, ID, this and that, you do just header, nav, okay, and the other element is section. Okay, because in a site you have always, in any website, you have a header, navigation, then you have sections. Okay, a section here for advertisement, section for event, a section for, you divide it. So semantically, these tags, they make sense. They have, they have a, it's not like a div, it's just a div. Yeah, and then comes the article. Okay, article, then aside. Article, you know article? It's not the article like an article that you read, but articles means you put a content that has to do, that is self-contained, that has, you know, for instance, you're talking about cities, then you're going to write a title, London, and you define the city, for instance. That's an article, a content that goes together. Okay, we're going to see an example. We're going to see examples. So a content that stands by itself. Okay, for instance, you're doing a section by events, and so event is going to be like in an article, and you do like events as a headline, then the event, date, time, and place. That by itself, an article that's going to be within a section. For instance, you're going to have event, and you're going to have calendar. So you have a section that has an event and calendar. So the event is going to be an article, and calendar is going to be in an article. It's like a division. It just makes more sense. You make the content that goes by itself. Because a calendar, event, you know, I know pretty much they are close, but event, you have, you know, the place, the date, and, you know, yeah, the name of the event. And the calendar is a calendar. You have some, and it's true for other. We're going to see examples. We're going to lay a website and we're going to see examples. So, article, and then comes aside. Aside is like this article, just want to add, article is a content that's independent on others. It doesn't depend on any other content. It's independent. It's by itself. And
What's
this
the difference between article or paragraph?
no, paragraph is a tag that can be within an article. These are containers. A
I
paragraph is not a container.
Okay.
Huh? Remember how to do the box is
How do you-
boxes where you can put content. Okay, these are how you lay out your website. Okay. Instead of doing div ID or div class, still you can use classes and IDs here because you have many sections. If you have like 3 sections, you have to give them IDs. Okay, but it's like meaningful. It has a meaning, like the layout and the. So aside is like aside. You know, like sometimes in a website you have the sidebar and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the content that goes. That's, you know, that complements. It has nothing to do with the, for instance, article, but it goes on the side. And then comes the footer. Footer, it just, you know, self-explanatory. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a footer. Footer comes in the bottom of the website. So you see here, like you don't see a lot of div. And then you can select all, and then hit a tab for indentation. So it gives you clear indentation. Yeah, ident the your code. So body header. So always leave this space here. You see this space? Because which means these elements are inside the body. You remember nesting? So the HTML tags here, they can be nested within each other. Especially article is going to go within section. So we're going to see that. Okay, so these are there are other elements like a video, like a geolocation, but we're going to see that later. But this is very essential as to the layout of the content of. If you save and see it in the browser, you're not going to see anything. So remember, like these are HTML5 tags too. It's like H1. These are tags too. They can have attribute. Like a class or ID or okay. These are, but some browsers, these are all block elements. These containers are block elements. But some browsers, especially the old ones, they don't recognize these new elements. So like IE especially, like, you know. So in the CSS, we're gonna see always we're gonna set them to block, display block. Always tell the browser display this element as a block. Okay. All right. So in the header, you know, in a website, normally what goes into a header?
H1, H4.
Like your logo and the title of your site. Okay. Like for instance, give it a name. Let's okay. Give it an H1 and then Lorem. Give it 3 words. Okay. Yeah, give it a name. Yeah. Yeah, let me just give it some name that makes sense. HTML 5. Yeah. Elements. Okay, so we're gonna save. Can you save your work file? Save it and refresh. See what you see right there, okay? You see that's the title, that's the logo of any website. This is how people do templates. Template is not a rocket science. It's just HTML element and you do all that coloring and movement with JavaScript and CSS. So navigation. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, like header. Header is the like where you put your brand in. Header contains the branding of your company, your logo. It's branding. Your branding goes into the header. You know, yeah, you can do that. You can do the social media phone depending on your business, but you don't wanna. Yeah, you could throw in like some social media there too. Yeah. Then navigation. So how like navigation is done like through just an order list, and then we need how many links, how many. For instance, we think how many pages we have. Like the navigation means how many pages you're gonna have. How many? Yeah, the navigation. Each tab is a page. Each tab is a page. Okay. Each tab, you know, each button. You click on it, takes you to a page. Not necessarily you can have like a one-page website that scroll down, but just for the sake of this, like each tab takes you to a new page. So we need a UL, and within that we need an LI. How many? Times like 5, yeah. And then within those we need an anchor tag. Within that we need a lorem with 1 word. Yeah, copy exactly this line. Then hit tab. You got yourself the entire navigation. So these are the things that we're gonna style. Can you save and view in your browser? Command S and refresh. Everybody's having the same like here. Now you have a navigation, right? Then let's like think we want to have a website about like defining some cities or defining something. We're gonna have a section, okay? Section is gonna be the entire, and we're gonna take this article here. Can you Command X or Control X and put it within section? Command V. So, and here now, this is where you can use your HTML element, like the H1 tag. What do you tell the people? I have some important information in this section, okay? Like we're gonna say, and the H1 has to be in the section outside the article. I'm telling you now, the very standard people that they don't follow this, okay? But these are the standards. You do this, you're good to go, okay? So you put an h1 tag, for instance. What do you think of something you want to build? I'm gonna do walled cities. Okay. Yeah, just an example. This is just an example. Well, we're having a website about walled cities. Okay, so world cities. So if your website you wanna you wanna talk about world cities, for instance, we're gonna talk about 5 cities or something. So there's gonna be 5 articles. Okay, within the section. You don't, this has to make sense. This is even for the purpose of Google search. Google, when it comes, you understand the semantics. When you give the Google, because you submit your XML map, the XML map of your website, you have to submit it to Google. Tell them I have this page and this. Then Google comes and understands the semantics of the layout of your, and understand that things have meaning. You have this section, you have an h1 tag, then it's going to show easy. Okay, it has meaningful. Oh, this is pages about world cities, and you have 5 cities, each one an article. So easy to index. Easy to index. So, well, let's start with first city. Let's say, for instance, and then we have an h1 tag here. Then within our article, we need to give an h2. Okay, you have to have to describe the city. For instance, let's say h2. I know article.
Let's include the h1 word city.
Oh, okay. Just my mistake. Yeah. So h2, and we're gonna say I don't know, London, for instance. Okay. And this has to not necessarily here, but you can just why that London is there. Yeah.
London city?
No. No. It's just this image. Okay. Okay, so you see how you have to, this has to be within the article. Article is within this. H1 tag and article, they are like siblings. They are brother and sister, or sisters or brothers. So h2, and then we need to do a paragraph with some lorem of 20 tab. Okay.
25, you said?
It doesn't matter, 20, 25. It's just a paragraph describing that. Does this make sense?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Here, within the section, there is h1 tag. You want to talk about world cities, for instance, and then article, h2, lorem, then give it a 20 words or something. So now we this is. You see, this is how it goes, because this article is by itself. You know the h1 tag. It's a separate. It's about all, and you see how this independent. This content is independent of any other things. So we're gonna copy this. Okay. Yeah. You Command C or Control C, then under the article, Command V. And then Command V, and then Command V. 4 cities or 5 cities, it depends on it. Okay. Now London, then we do Paris.
So the first we do control.
اللي بغيتي خليهم 3 ولا 2. It's not a problem. Yeah, 3 is good. I mean, 3 is, I think 3 is good. Then Command S or Control S and then refresh. So see how this thing, like if you, come on. See how thing like it comes from here all, yeah. Yeah. Right, so now, so we have all of this under a section. You can have another section and have something different in it. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, each section, like it gives you, it makes sense, you know, the way you lay out your website. Then, so this is section. Let's not talk about aside now because it's gonna. Let's aside. We're gonna talk later on because it has a lot of complications of floating and all that. We're just gonna do the footer. Footer, like if you want to do the add thing, you can shift and ampersand. You know the ampersand. So shift ampersand, then copy, and then you know the semicolon, space. Yeah. This one is just going to give us the symbol of the copyright. Yeah. So then you do company name or yeah, that's the MSW. Yeah. MSW 2016 dot then all rights reserved. This is, they say this, but this thing is very important. People that could, it's not trademark, but just copyright.
Copyright.
If you take the content or the image, they can sue you. A lot of people, they go to Google and they just start taking from Google images. No. You have to specify. In Google there is a section. We don't have internet, but I'll show you that. You have to go and filter. There is a filter. You tell Google, give me only the images that I can use or change even commercially. I filter non-copyrighted images. You have to filter. Yeah, just save, and you have yourself like here a. Okay. So here we could add something there because the copyright is always kind of tiny. We could do like this. You could open and do small.
You could do it for HTML.
Yeah. Command X. Command V. You know what I'm saying? Can you add this tag? This tag?
But there are italic tag.
No, don't do it. Don't italicize it. No. Command S. So when you refresh, it's going to be like smaller, even tiny. See? It's even smaller. So now we have ourselves a website, like cleaning maids or something like this. This is going to show. Now it's going to give you images. All right. You cannot use this image. This image, if you click on this image, it's going to give you the image. All right. It's right here. It's good, but you have to click on this, visit site. When you go to the site, you're going to see that image there belongs to someone, right? So, you don't want to use that. What Google does is just go to sites and bring images because they're named. This is how you optimize your images. Give them a name of your business. So for the Google search engine. So if you want like, well, let me just go. Let's go back here. Where is Google? Google right here. Okay. You go to this cog here, click, do advanced search. It's going to bring you to this one. You can here specify the color, the width, PNG, JPEG, but the most important thing here is usage rights. When you click here, not filtered by license. That's the default. Not filtered by license, you cannot use that. The second one is free to use or share. Use it or share it, personal. But here, free to use or share even commercially.
That's good.
But the other one is free to use, share, or modify even commercially.
That's very good.
Let's go and do this and see the search what it's gonna give us.
Can you save that your picture?
No, look. It didn't give us these pictures we saw. This nice and stuff. It gives us all this. Doesn't give you something useful.
You have to look for it.
So anything you use here, nobody is gonna say a word. Okay, yeah, here. So these are just the bare bones of HTML. Okay, and styled. What defaults. Okay. Then we're gonna create a style, external style sheet. Okay. انت ما كنتش معنا ذاك النهار. Style sheet we created outside and we link it. But we're gonna go through that here too.
So you already have your style sheet.
I do, yeah. View, show sidebar. Yeah, if you don't have like a style sheet, just a file new. Yeah, file, create a new. Okay. Then that file, that same file, save as.
I think I have to save as then.
Save as, give it a name.
لا واحد اخر دولة CSS ولكن السيدي خص نمشي فين ما كان الويب سايت الفولدر ديال الويب سايت الفولدر ديال الويب سايت فين كاين.
So we're gonna before this and then like we're gonna go to the top. We're gonna style our body. Make sure like everything is spelled correctly. Now I'm just gonna take this padding here out. Do you have like this structure? Okay, so take this display block, give it a border 1 pixels this here, and give it a margin. What do we mean here? Each element has to have a margin. When we specify one value, it's a clockwise. So you see how like you have a website structured, but it's still not styled, just the layout now. هنايا you have each section هذا هو المارجين ديال 5 between them 5 clockwise. والpadding هو عطينا 9. Padding is the text. Okay, so this is the header, like as we said. Header is a semantic element or tag for HTML5. الهيدر هو اللي كدير فيه البراندين, your logo and your social, you know, icons here and all that. Okay, and you have the nav. Nav standbys. Nav can be within the header sometimes. You play with that when you know. You can put the nav within the header. Okay, depending on what you want to style. So now we put it outside. Let me just see here. Okay, yeah. So our navigation, we want to style navigation. So what are we gonna do? So we have like, it's right here, you see the nav tag. Okay, and within the nav tag we have an order list. Okay, so what do we want to style? Yeah, but which target? So go to the nav, give me the UL, get the LI, and then display inline. That's okay. So Command S, refresh. See, when you display them inline, your navigation just automatically, the style, the everything disappears. But yeah, that's we're dealing with the list item now here. Like when you go to here, like we tell the browser, go to this element, then go down to the element within it and get me the LI. Display them inline. Okay. Then within LI there is an A. You want to target the A. You want to be like descending. You're gonna go to nav, go to the UL, LI, and go to the A, and then text decoration none. All right. We don't need the underline here, so. Command S, refresh. So you see the text is so tiny. We're gonna bump it up by size what? Font size. Font size. We give it like a 16 pixels. Okay. Command S. Yeah. 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 Well, let's give it 18, make it a little like more legible. Yeah, now it's good. Now sometimes you see like the navigation is capitalized, like
Yeah.
that's it's text.
It's 4.
Text transform. You do uppercase. See, it's gonna change now. Control S. You see, it becomes. You know these dots. These dots are part of lorem ipsum. It's not like. It's part of lorem ipsum. Just erase them, and that thing. Yeah, it's not part of our styles. Okay. Yeah, we're coming to that right now. Command S. Well, let's give it a font family. I like the sans serif. You don't want them uppercase? No, I'm gonna turn them into just regular case. Yeah, Control A. Yeah. You know, if you, when you change, see when you change the font family, because the sans serif, I like the sans serif. So we're gonna take this. If you want to disable a rule, here's what you do: slash star and then star / save, and then he's gonna. You see, you disable it. Yeah. So we're gonna do margin right. انت إذا بغينا نديرو اتساع بيناتهم هنا ديما think of this as a box itself. You can give it a padding top, you can give it a margin. إلا عطيناها margin right يعني we're gonna start from here, we're gonna push towards the right. Margin right of 20 pixels. Okay, so if you want to style this, you want to give it a background. What do you say? The anchor, this anchor, this element here, this anchor tag. You want to give it a background and looks like a button. Just this one right here. But this one is the same like this. You target one and it's gonna. Oh, no, the anchor tag. We're targeting the anchor tag. The box is the nav. Yeah, background color. Okay. So
for all of them.
yeah. Background black. Okay. Control S. Yeah, what's the problem here? What is this?
Because you need to change the
What do we need? Okay, let's. Okay.
Color white.
So, even the color white. Command S, refresh, but still like it looks ugly. What do we need to do?
Padding.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be using padding margin all the time. So padding, what's the padding? How would you do the padding? So we're gonna give it top like 8 pixels. Like if we do 2 values up and down, okay, then we give it 12. Okay, yeah, PS. Command S. Okay, so like refresh. See, it's a big difference. When you talk about this one, like this section wraps all this side here. So we're gonna come up all the way, and we're gonna add. Now we can use a div. Okay. We can use like an ID of a wrap. Okay. Then you Command X, go all the way down. Yeah, wrap your site. Command V. Okay? Yeah, if you want to center, what do you do if you want to center your site? You know, some people, they don't prefer the wide, they want it centered. We go to yeah, what do we style if you want to style? What did we do? We're going to go to the wrap, right?
Yeah, right.
Huh?
You have to give it a class.
It's an ID already.
Class already did div. Oh, you put that.
This is the ID. We wrapped our site into a wrap, okay? So we're going to give it a width of, like, let's give it 1,000 pixels. So, and if you want to center it, what do you do? What's the property? Margin, yeah? Auto, yeah. Command S. No, I didn't save the HTML down like I did. Body, you can specify a background for your body. Like, I don't know. Body, I don't know. Background. I don't know. It's some color. I don't know. Yeah, we're like 777. Yeah, some shade of gray. Command S. Command S. I have to double check. But this is the background. Okay? This is the background. So now this is the background. Now you know the wrap, you can give it a white color. Okay? لا بس قلت لك أنا so that you can have control over the backgrounds of your boxes. So by the background, then we're gonna go to the wrap. Yeah, where is the wrap? Here. And give it a background. Background. You override now FF. It's gonna turn back into the Command S. See? And then we have. So your site is okay. Create another box. Yeah, just give a black color to the footer. Footer usually they give it a black color. So to style the footer,
I'm gonna have to footer.
yeah, just do footer. Yeah, footer. Background, black. Color, white. Text align, center. Height, I'm gonna give it like a 40 pixels. Yeah, we want a small. And then line height, 40 pixels. Command S, refresh. So you should have something like this. You should have something like this.
Another background.
Line and height.
So when you give it yeah, I'll explain what each line there means. So when you give it a height, you limit the height. You don't leave it auto. Then, if you want to bring the text in a vertical align center, you want it vertically. You do the line height exactly the same as the height. If it's the height 40, you do the line height 40. Then the text centers vertically.
Height and line height they go together. Copy paste the sheet.
Yeah, فاش بقى تستايلي and you put them the header. If it's at the top, you do the header. Background. Yeah, the black. Color. And yeah, FF. It's like a grayscale site. Background black. Header. Then sometimes when you go and you hover and this text changes into red or something and you take the cursor away, it goes back to the color. You know what's the property? That's the, you know the hover, when you hover, yeah, with the cursor on top, then you hover.
Yeah.
On that thing, you know, we do it on the anchor tags.
Oh.
So we're gonna bring this one like you're gonna Command C, bring it down, Command V, then you do dot hover, and then you specify we're gonna do this background red, color, let's say red. Well, so red, and just leave it white. We don't want to change that.
Red and green. Flag.
Green, yeah. Okay. Color green. Yeah, just the. Okay, so Command S. Yes. So, like when you hover, you see what I'm talking about. When you hover, it changes color. But I don't like that green color. It's just yeah, just put it, leave it just its color white. Command S. You know the A, you're targeting the anchor. Okay. What is that?
Green.
No, I took away the green. You can style it the way you want. Maybe you misspelled it. Now, when you give it like a border radius, yeah, 6 pixels. You want to add this property of the CSS3 here. Yeah, this border. Any box you want to style. This rule here like applies to any box. Border radius 6 pixels. Okay. This is a CSS3. It's a rule. It's a CSS3 rule. And S. Yeah, غير هادو in ما يكونش عندك داك الانجلز pointed angles.
8 pixels.
The hover state.
هذيك دابا نخليهم هكذاك ولا نقدر ندير
تجي داك الفلوت when you float things a lot of weird stuff happens.
ولك دير لنا بحال هذاك